I'm your host, and my name's Cristina Hernandez, and with me today is Tasha Ho Sang. She is a digital strategist giving us good tips today on Instagram and how to boost your Instagram. Thank you, Tasha.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you so much for having me today. I know, it's hard with COVID and scheduling, and so I appreciate you working it out.
For coming. Okay, we want to get our Facebook watch party here going. So what we want to do is open your Facebook.
Yeah.
We're going to go to what's on your mind. Let's click on this watch party. I'm going to type in my name, Cristina.
Yes, hold on, let me go back out.
Yeah. Here, I'm already popping up.
Huh.
Add to queue.
Wait, so let me X this out. Start fresh. What's on your mind? And then go where?
Oh, no. Go down to, take that off.
Okay.
Go to what's on your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Scroll down to watch party.
Ooh,
down at the bottom.
Party. There we
now
go.
Type in Tasha.
All right.
And you should start. Okay, done.
And you see it already?
Yeah. Did you now do search? Done. Type in Cristina.
Okay.
Cristina Hernandez. And see if that type done.
And it's Hernandez with a Z or
with
an
a
S?
Z.
Okay.
See if that works. Maybe because you're not on our Wi-Fi.
Ah.
Okay. I got it on mine.
Yeah, so we'll just get
We'll do it from there. No. This is technical. This is what we're all dealing with these days.
Right.
Okay. So I got my watch party going.
Yes.
Talk to me about, let's talk about Dream.
Yeah.
And your digital rules. First, let's start out. Where are you from?
So I was actually born in the Bronx, BX borough, but I am a Philly girl all day, right?
Okay.
Like raised in Philly. I still have my 267 area code. I am not changing it. So I am Philly all day.
Okay.
But yes, a few years ago, I did move to South Florida. So I say I'm from Miami because I'm here lot of the time. I work out of here, but I do live, so I live in like Pembroke Pines, like the suburbs of. But yeah, that's where I am. But
okay. And you have started your own business.
Yes, I did.
Tell us about this business.
Absolutely. So it's called DREAM is the acronym. So DREAM, and the acronym is for Digital Rules Everything Around Me. So shout out to all my Wu-Tang Clan friends. Who's familiar? Are you familiar
with Wu-Tang Clan?
Yes,
of course. Of course.
I love it. Yes. So, huge Wu-Tang Clan fan growing up. Anyway, but I just thought it was like a catchy kind of name, memorable. Right? So people remember it. That's pretty much it.
I think it's so cool that you thought of this acronym, Digital Rules
Everything
Around Me.
Yes.
It's very catchy.
Look, at this point, digital rules everything around all of us. Right?
And it's dream. We're all dreaming to strive to be better.
Absolutely.
How to make more money.
Absolutely.
Everything. Work from home. How do we balance? How do we juggle? Like it's so like dream.
Keep our marriage together with us quarantining.
I think it's brilliant. I think it's brilliant. So what is digital? Like this is a course, right?
Right.
So let's talk about that.
So yes, it's a course. So how it started, right?
Yes.
It's so I'm used to working with larger companies, and I don't want to put anyone out there during this interview, but, and helping them get to the next level, right? They have a new launch or a specific line or an extension of something that they're doing. And so I'll help them get the word out, get more business, get more likes, whatever their KPI, right? Whatever they're looking to happen. I help them get there. But then I realized once Corona hit, a lot of them were getting like bailouts and like they had wiggle room to like, let's ride this thing out or figure it out. But then I noticed the smaller shops
that are the ones,
you know, like the place where, you know, like where my daughter gets her hair braided, or like where we, you know, get our back to school sneakers from. And like, they kind of got hit. You can
the
tell,
hardest.
Right. And so I was like, well, these same rules that I'm applying to these larger companies, I can really just give them the rules to the game, right? These smaller mom and pop shops, or, you know, new coming entrepreneurs, a lot of entrepreneurs were birthed, you know, when that pandemic hit. And so I'm just really, I'm like everyone's digital hype girl, right? Like everything that I taught the larger companies, I gave it to these new entrepreneurs, and it works. Right.
That's so good.
And so whether they have a budget or not, you know, and then we want to start just focusing on social media and then branch out when there is a larger budget. I am there to help, to give them all the rules. Right.
That's awesome. I mean, definitely what's been so heartbreaking during this pandemic is seeing the smaller business and how deeply they have been affected.
Right.
Because the bigger ones are surviving, but the little ones.
Yeah.
I mean, seeing all the restaurants and little boutiques, everything's just closed up. So I think it's great that you're offering
absolutely
promote their business.
Absolutely.
Because how do they get the word out?
Absolutely. And you know, another thing that I was really hyper focused on, because when I went and got my master's in digital marketing, it was just still without getting too political, but it was a lot of the, you know, even like the examples was like, you know, when you go skiing and you know, like a lot of it didn't relate to me. Right. And like, I couldn't break it. Like, so when I speak to my followers or listeners or, you know, the students in the class, I make sure I break it down into ways that they can understand.
Yeah.
You know, hyper digestible so that it's easy, it's memorable. You know, when we're talking about geofencing, you know, I'm using examples of like, you know, when you're at the hair salon. Yeah. And these 3 hairstylists, you only want, you know, they're focusing on doing like bobs and cutting bangs or, you know, flat ironing or whatever. Like, and you only want these, this is how you, and this is an example of what like geofencing is. And like, and I break it down into a way that they can understand it, because digital marketing can be very scary.
Yeah.
And it can
so you just said some key words that I've heard, but I'm like KPI.
Right. What is key performance indicators, right?
What does that mean though?
So my KPI may be different than what your KPI is, because you may be just focused on getting more followers, right? So what did Drake say? You worried about your followers, you need to get your dollars up. I'm about the bottom line. But before I can't assume that everyone is looking to increase their bottom line. Maybe they're okay where they are financially. They just want to help get the word out more. They want to focus on branding. And so that very preliminary conversation is, what are your ultimate goals? What are your end results? So that all of the strategies, you know, whether we're focusing on SEO, right? Search engine optimization, which is like organically getting your page to come up when people are searching for services or products in your industry, right? Or PPC, right? Which is like a bidding system, if you will, and like an auction, if you will. And you get like the sponsored links on the first page of Google, or whatever it is, whatever your digital strategy may be. We want to make sure that all roads lead to whatever your conversion or KPI is, you know, so we can measure it to make sure it works.
What is geofencing? I've never heard of this one.
So geofencing and geo-targeting, people kind of get them confused, but basically it's targeting people within a certain geography, if you will. Okay. You can focus on where they live. You can focus on behaviors. You can, you know, but what I like about when you do, so that's geo-targeting, right? It's like a larger scale. So certain states or cities, or focusing on a larger geo, right? But geofencing is if like I own a coffee shop. I now want to target people who, you know, maybe go to Starbucks every day, right? Or if I have a makeup line and I want to focus on people who buy L'Oreal products. So every time they go into like a store that sells that, or MAC Cosmetics, when they walk into MAC Cosmetics, I can actually serve them ads, right? And that's called conquesting, so that they can come back to me. right? Or
that's so cool.
Yeah, or geofence around my area. So every time they walk by my store, right? Like if I'm in a mall, then I can target them. They get served ads, bring them back to me.
There's always this conversation that all of us have in digital. I mean, that we realize like, okay, I was just talking about cat litter. And now all of a sudden cat litter is showing up in my in ads. And I'm like, hold on, I didn't search cat litter. I did it, but I was just talking about it. Like, is Google or the phones, are they really listening?
I actually have a really funny story. And oh my God, my husband's watching. And I may be moving in with you tonight. So when we first got married, right? Like I had an okay ring, right? But the love was there and I didn't care. He could have married me with like an onion ring, like chip, right? And I would have taken it, right?
I feel
madly in love. But some years went on and I'm like, come on. Like I literally went on his cell phone and I was like, so I found a ring that I wanted. Oh my God, Alex, I'm sorry. And I Googled the ring on like his cell phone and I Googled it on the house computer. I Googled it on his laptop so he can still, so he can
be
get
reminders.
But so what happened was he was getting ads for the store that sold it and not the particular ring. And I said, wait, I'm doing this wrong. This is like a couple years back. So I went in and I had to look at the actual ring. I'm looking at sizes, looking at angles. So they know I'm not trying to go to the store. I want this ring.
Yes.
On all devices in the house. And so he kept getting served ads. Our anniversary came up that year. And if you love me, then you should have put a ring on it.
Story.
I got the ring.
That is a great story.
Right?
Girls.
Right. If you want to get engaged, this went left field. Let me show you how to do it.
Start searching on his phone, his laptop, and everything.
Facebook, when you're on his socials, Google the store, go to the ring, click on it, so they know this is what you're interested in. Yeah.
But even though sometimes you do walk by a store and it knows you were in a certain location and you start getting ads for the stores, whether it be, I don't know, Pokey, because I'm close by here to Coconut Grove, and I'm like, all of a sudden I get the Pokey ads, whatever it is that you walked by, bookstore, they show up. So that's kind of, I guess, what geofencing.
Geotargeting is more in a more concrete area. Geofencing is covers a larger, So geofencing is what you're talking about. But yes.
And you've used it to your advantage. That is so cool.
Got to be smart about it.
I love this.
Right.
I am already taking some tips. Oh my God. So
I love it.
Let's talk about your course. How many classes is it?
Right.
What are some topics that we're going to like?
Yeah. So ideally, it's a 4-week course, right?
Okay.
But I say that because I do add in a 5th bonus class.
Okay.
Because what I do is before anyone enrolls, and they would tell you, I do these interviews and I want to find out the KPIs. What exactly are you looking for out of this course? And so every time it launches, we may shift a little bit. So for the last course, we ended up doing a bonus Instagram course, right? And we talk about everything, the feed backdrop colors versus the main colors, and how to do, how to make captions that connect with your audience, and the difference between colors, right? The difference between the colors of your logo. And what do the colors mean? Are you giving off an energy that you want to project about your company? What different fonts mean? If you're going to use script, which is like, are we using a legible one that people can actually read? And so we break all of that down. So that's all in the bonus course. The other courses are basically broken out into 4 weeks. And so we talk about determining your digital marketing strategy. So we go through all of that: social media, SEO, PPC, the importance of reviews, and like how to have them all in a consolidated area so people can see them. And so, by the way, and I know we didn't have this part planned, and but it's really important, guys, because when people leave reviews, and it's always that one person who is like, they're not really satisfied with what you have. Unfortunately, that's just what it is. But studies show that people aren't really looking at the negative reviews. I mean, they'll read it, but they're looking for how you respond to that negative review.
I agree.
Don't you dare leave that.
Yeah.
Don't leave it there.
Yeah.
You know, and it could even be a generic response. I'm sorry you had this experience. You know, what's a good number to call you on so we can talk about a way to fix this? Send, leave it, because that's what everyone sees.
I have to concur with that, because sometimes even when I'm downloading apps, and you can see the reviews that they have on apps, and I'm like, look how nice they respond, and they want to like really improve their app.
Yes.
So I will download the app and give it a chance.
Absolutely. It's literally word of mouth on steroids. And so people are going on there reading reviews. So we talk about that, how to respond to reviews, the importance of having it. You know, is your business claimed? Is it claimed on Google and Yelp and YP and City Search and all these places? So when people Google your business, can they find it?
Yeah.
You know, and I always break down to my listeners, there's two types of people. There's the people that know you, right? Which are like the referrals and like people that know your name. And so they'll Google your name. Can they find you that way? Right. And then two, the people that don't know you, which is where the marketing and branding comes in.
Totally.
Because you want them to be able to find you, you know, when they're Googling your product or service. So do that. I challenge you guys to Google your business, put it up and see what comes up. And is your business showing in the best light when you Google yourself? If not, there's, you know, you have time to change it.
Yeah. What is been your favorite Instagram app? Like for creating collages or for putting text or for beginners, like some people do. I consider myself pretty tech savvy, but I'm like, how did they do this?
Right. I love Canva. Like, love it. It's great because, you know, we talked about the different fonts and like what makes sense. Canva really pairs different fonts together for you. It has, the images are there for you. If you don't have your own, the font styles, the colors, another thing that what I really like about Canva, which I'm sure maybe other apps have as well. So I have, you know, you have your specific logo color and they all have a different hex code, right? So the pink of my logo is kind of similar to the pink in your dress. So it's pound or whatever, you know, 401 cc, right?
Yes.
So I know that whenever I go anywhere, I put that color in, that hex code, and that color is going to populate. So that, because you see sometimes people try to match that same exact blue and it's hard. Yes. So find out what that hex code is, put it in Canva, and every single post you have, it's the same. It works.
That's a great tip.
Right.
That's a great tip.
So Canva is really good that way. Oh, I just realized I didn't go through the rest of the week.
Yeah, sorry. I was going to bring us back to that. Let's talk about your course.
So we talk about the different types of strategies that there are, right? Because like I said, it can be very overwhelming. So we want to streamline it and make it make sense for you. And then that following week, we talk about how to reach your target audience, right? Because I talk about a story of me working with a client who sells like high-end baby products, right? Like the strollers and the cribs, and you know, they can go up there in price. And so that's what he focused on, and he realized he kind of like plateaued and hit like this, his bottom line wasn't where he wanted it to be. Right. So we pulled back the curtains a little bit and looked at the insights, and he was targeting moms. It would make sense. Moms get pregnant, they, you know, but we realized that the moms weren't the one buying these high ticketed items, right? It was like the in-laws, the parents of the mother, the husbands even. And so he shifted his marketing just a little bit to target those people. And still he targets moms, but added them in. And
it started happening.
Yes, that's where the magic happens.
Wow.
You know, I was talking to another woman who has a makeup line. And, you know, she was going on Instagram and she was following all these beauty experts on there. And she's like, but for some reason, I'm kind of hitting this plateau on Instagram and I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do. I'm reaching out to these, you know, makeup artists and, you know, and they'll come in. And I told her, that's great if you're looking for an influencer for your brand. Yeah. Again, let's keep the KPI in mind. Like, what are we looking to do? And so, you know, she said she wants to find more followers. She wants more engagement. And I said, oh, because you're reaching out to the influencer. you need to reach out to the followers of the influencer.
Yeah.
You see the difference?
Yeah.
It's like, it's so close. And sometimes you're so close to it, you don't see, you know? So if you take a step back, look at the insights, analytics are so important.
Yeah.
You know, they have them on Facebook, they have them on Instagram, they have them for your website. And see, when people go on your website, what are they looking on? What are they looking at? You know, can we you know, talk about that a little bit more? Yeah. You know, when you go on Instagram or Facebook, like, what are your most liked posts? Yeah. Is it you dancing? Is it you talking about content? Do you get more engagement when you do video over just a still image? You have to know your audience so you know how to communicate with them. Yeah. And so that's really important. So we talk about, you know, how to find a target audience. Then we go into how to establish the right marketing mix. And so we talk about the KPIs. And so my combination, my marketing mix may be different from yours. Yeah. And so we have individual meetings. We figure out what they want to focus on and super hyper target that. And we like make sure they understand how to do it themselves so they don't have to tap into a marketing agency, and we show them how to do that. And then the last week is account management or campaign management and measurement. So we talk about the insights and how to read it, because it can get overwhelming if you don't know what you're looking for. Exactly. Right? I'm like, what does this mean? Right. So we show you what to look for, how to make sure that what you're doing, what your marketing efforts are working. And so that's basically the course. And then the bonus course of what they're looking for. So it may be the Instagram course again. As I do more interviews, it looks like that's what it's going to be. Yeah. But it's what the people want. I'm here to serve. I'm here for you guys.
You know, does this course happen once a week?
Yes. Okay. So it's once a week. Right now, I have 3 children and a husband. So it just works that Tuesdays at 7 seems to be like the less hectic day of the week for them. I don't know why, but so Tuesdays at 7, the course lasts about an hour. Okay. But then I do give assignments, and I keep them small, right? So I only accept around 10 people max, because I want to be able to hold their hand and really walk them through. See if it's working. Is it resonating? I give assignments, not anything super crazy. We're not doing like term papers, but I just give them assignments so they can understand, really understand their business.
Also, if you're not actively doing these steps, then it doesn't mean anything. Right. And it's just like even taking an Excel class or an Instagram class. If you don't like get in and use whatever it is,
right?
You're gonna
if you don't use it, you'll lose it. That's what,
you're not gonna remember it.
Yeah, so. It's true. Yeah, and it's assignments like, for example, can you write down what you do in 140 characters or less? We talk about the elevator pitch. If you can't explain what you do, how do you expect other people to? And we also so my whole goal at the very end. Right? Like, you understand your business and all that, but I want them to shift the way that they think. And I want them to think, obviously you're naturally going to have that entrepreneurial mindset, but I want my students to really start thinking in the eyes of the consumer. When they're on your website, is it easy to navigate? When they go on your Instagram page or Facebook or whatever social media, at first glance, can they tell what you do? And so I want them to get into the mind of the consumer. Yeah. Right. And you win. You win when you serve. Yeah. So
I love this.
Right.
I'm excited. So when does your course start?
So it's starting Tuesday, March 16th. Okay. So we have a couple weeks. Okay. And so I have some spots open. Awesome. And I'll give your people awesome 50% off of enrollment.
What?
So they can go on the website. Let's book an appointment first. Let's just make sure I'm the right fit for you and that it makes sense for you. Yes. But I'll give them. Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you. Okay. Let's tell everyone, and we'll repeat it again at the end. Right. How do people find you?
So I'm at The Digital Rules everywhere on all social accounts, especially on Instagram. So Instagram is just where I personally have found my most of my success and engagement. Oh, by the way, if you guys feel overwhelmed on which social media platform to focus on because it's so many, and you're trying to do all of them, my tip to you, right, is to focus on one, learn the ins and outs of it, and then eventually branch off. Yeah. So that's, we don't want to be overwhelmed and then everything is watered down. We want it Right.
I agree. I agree. And I agree Instagram for me has been the most, it's what most people are on.
Right.
Who knows how long that'll stay.
Right. So now we have Clubhouse.
Okay. So that one of the other girls that does a show here, she's super on Clubhouse and talks about that. She's like, are you on it? I'm like, no.
I'm going to send you an invite. Like right now, I have a few, and I'm gonna send you and I think you'll do phenomenal, right? Like it's literally this. It's like it's literally what you do anyway.
Yeah.
So another funny story. So, and guys, don't judge me. So up until literally a couple weeks ago, I was an Android user, right? But I liked like the stylus that came with my. Okay,
I have the new one.
She's like whispering, like I have one too.
This is the new Samsung S21 Ultra, and I love it.
Shameless plug. I love it. I love it. And so this Clubhouse app comes out, and so all of my friends are like, especially one in particular. And so she really she's business and professional, and I've never seen her get so excited about a platform.
Is it on Android, by the way?
It's not on there yet. So that's where the funny story comes in. And so she's like, Tasha, you have to get on Clubhouse and blah, blah, you'll do great in your personality. And I'm like, I don't know. And she wouldn't, she was so adamant about it. And I was like, okay, she never is like this about anything. I'm going to, so I did my research, looked at the reviews. Yeah. And I'm liking what I see. I literally go to, and I dropped $1,200 on an iPhone. And they're like, you're literally doing this for an app? And I'm like, yeah.
Wow. Can I tell you? Okay, before I tell you my story, was it worth it? Is Clubhouse worth it?
Oh, I'm literally on there all day. I love it. And it's great because you could be in a room with any celebrity.
I know, this is what I'm hearing.
Regular person. And we're just talking. And
this is the power of social media. Right. You know, my husband, when he first started, first of all, he was never on any social media, nothing. And I kept telling him, if you're going to do any social media, my husband's an avid reader. Right. You need to be on Twitter because all of your news, breaking news just comes out all the time. And it's so easy to interact with an author that you like, a reporter, and just and send them a private message or tweet them or something. Right. And social media makes the world, I think, even smaller. And now he's on other platforms, but I've heard exactly what you're telling me about Clubhouse too.
And even with him reading, they can there's book clubs on there. And now I see people will watch a show together, have book clubs, but they have shows and then get on Clubhouse and dissect the whole
imagine this
as a group.
Imagine this during when Game of Thrones was happening. Everyone was so addicted to that show. Oh my God.
I love it.
So I had downloaded, or I wanted to get this app. This is going to date me. Red Stamp.
Never heard of it.
Okay, that was back in a long time ago, because I was in, and I still do, direct sales. Right. And it was a way to send invitations. Red Stamp. And it wasn't available on Android. And I was an Android user. Right. So I was so irritated. I went and got an iPhone just so that I could use the Red Stamp app.
Now are you still using Red Stamp?
No. And I'm back to Android. So I'm just going to wait for Clubhouse to come around.
It will, yes.
It's going to.
Right. It will.
So, so your course is starting on March 16th. Yes. It's a 4-week course with a 5th bonus. Right. It starts, and it's on Tuesdays. Yes. At 7 p.m. Yes. And it's for about an hour. Yeah. And we're giving a special discount if you mention community newspapers and you reach out. So where you can find Tasha, digitalrules.com, on Instagram, Digital Rules. She's also Tasha Ho Sang. Our handle will show up here on the bottom in a little bit. What has been, I want to say, the pros and cons about having an online business?
So way more pros than cons.
Good.
it's great because it's accessible. In the last course, we had I'm having communications with people in Canada and the Bahamas, cool. And I was speaking to someone from Australia yesterday, and so literally everyone is just a click away, right? And cool? So that's beautiful. Being able to help people in large masses is great. So all of that is good. The downside, if there was a downside, it's hard to unplug. Yeah. I'm always on. I feel like I wake up in the middle of the night. Let me check my cell phone. Do I have any missed emails? Do I have any, let me check the website. Is it working? Yeah. And so I think that's the flip side of not going to an office and
working from home too. From my other negative thing is I like to be in an office because there's that whole you like the water cooler talk. Right. And interacting with people and having that, being able to just bounce ideas off of one another. Right. I miss that. Right. But there is the pros of working from home, and you're able to balance being a mom. Yes. Being there for your kids more. So that's, everything. It's so true. Nothing is perfect. Everything has its positives and negatives.
I mean, the good side though, the kids get it. They're branding themselves because they put the logo on they get it. Marketing. Yeah. Because they hear me on the phone and they. Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So here at Miami Community Newspapers, we're super hyper focused on local businesses. Right. So I have some fire questions for you.
I hope I can answer it.
You totally can.
Hey, Brandon. Oh, it's people. Dexter. Hey,
look at this.
Wait, is he saying I want Oh, no. He's saying
love seeing small businesses start and thrive during this. Also, really great to have a marketing expert sharing their expertise. Thank you, awesome. Dexter. Breaking it down, relatable. Yes. Thank you, Dexter, for your comments. Look, is this your husband, Alex?
That is Alex.
I wish I had people explaining these things more like this instead of assuming we all know what thank you. Yes. I love it. And that's my husband, David Winker.
Oh, hey, David. Great show.
And Brandon.
I'm coming over for dinner, David. That's all that means to me.
Thanks, everyone, for watching. Okay, so my fire questions. Do you prefer Costco or Sam's?
Sam's.
Really? And what's your favorite thing at Sam's?
The samples. And COVID took that from me. And I'm right. Yeah. Right. And by the way, I'm only partial to Sam's because that's all I know. I don't even know if I've been to Costco before. But we have a Sam's Club membership.
Okay. Yeah. Well, wait till you get to meet Costco.
Okay.
I feel like Costco is it's Sam's, but a little more organic. It's like the Trader Joe's. You know how Trader Joe's is more organic stuff, and
okay.
And it's a small grocery store, and everything on there is I want everything on this shelf. It's been carefully curated. Right. I think that to me is kind of Costco to a regular. Anyway, what is a local restaurant that you would like to give a shout out to?
A local restaurant.
Yeah, your favorite local restaurant that other people need to know about.
So, and I'm going to tear this name up. I love local pizza places. Yeah. Anywhere we go, if I had to choose between a Pizza Hut and the local spot, I'll pick the local spot. Yeah. And I believe it's called, and I'm going to say I think it's called Alfredo's.
Yeah. Probably is.
I don't know if I could Google it real quick, but it's in but I think it's called Alfredo's.
Alfredo's,
but it's Alfredo's Pizza. All right, and restaurant, yes, in Cooper City. Okay, and it's flatbread, and it's so good. They have these garlic knots. This is so unhealthy. She probably expected me to
No, that's
but their pizza is delicious.
Okay, what's your favorite a store that you shop at? Is there a local store you want to give a shout out to?
So actually lately everything's been online.
I know, me too.
So bad. But when I do have to get fancy, It's still online, but she's local.
Good.
So Miss Bling on Instagram.
Okay.
She's so great. She's based out of Miami, so I think it's Miss Bling Miami.
Okay.
But she has an online boutique, super super cute, for every different style of clothing.
Okay.
So if you're going to a dinner party or just getting dressed for a versus battle in your living room.
Okay.
Yeah, she's really good. Really.
Do you have a book you want to give? Is there a book that you've read or you are reading currently?
Oh my gosh, I am reading Glennon Doyle's Untamed.
Her. Oh yeah, I've heard that's awesome.
Game changer.
Okay.
So I'm about 3/4 of the way, and it changes the way I think as a woman. And perspectives of just like what society has put on me to be as a mother and a wife, and she's just breaking barriers and
I've heard that book is so good.
Like seriously, if I walk out of here today, like it's a must read. Okay. For sure.
Podcast, a favorite podcast you want to?
I am obsessed with Malcolm Gladwell, everything Malcolm Gladwell.
Yeah.
So he has this revisionist history.
I've heard that one.
And I get so excited every time he drops a new episode.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So that is like.
Okay. What about best kept secret in South Florida?
Best kept secret.
It could be a place, could be a restaurant, could be anything. Best kept secret that you're like, how do people not know about this?
So yesterday, funny enough, I was on South Beach.
Yeah.
And I believe the place is called oh my goodness. But anyway, we're walking by and it's like this LGBTQ restaurant, and it's called The Palace. I think it's what it's called. And we walk by and it's literally like a magnet drawing us in, and they're dancing and people are engaged.
Where is this? Is this on Ocean Drive?
On Ocean's Drive.
Okay, and The Palace.
Yes, never heard of it, had no idea what was happening.
And it was so fun.
It's magnetic and energetic.
Good vibes.
And I'm definitely going back.
Okay. Right? All right. Tasha, you have been a plethora of information.
Thank you so much.
So fun. Digitalrules.com. Her course is starting on March 16th. Yes. It's a 4-week course with a 5th bonus, Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Mention Miami Community Newspapers. Right. And we're getting a major discount. Thank you for that.
Absolutely.
And I hope to have you back afterwards.
You will, for sure. We're BFFs now. David, I'm coming over. Thanks, guys.
And thanks for all our watchers. We appreciate you. And we'll see you back next week. Thanks, Miami, for watching.